Hi, I'm Dr. Sally Norton. I'm an NHS consultant and weight loss expert. And I've been asked quite a few questions recently about the gastric balloon, so I thought I'd try and answer some of those today. Now, I've placed quite a few gastric balloons in the past, some of them in NHS patients in whom weight loss surgery is being contemplated, and a gastric balloon helps them lose a little bit more weight beforehand to make it safer for surgery. And that remains a very valid use for the gastric balloon. I've also placed quite a few balloons in the private sector in people who aren't otherwise eligible for NHS treatment because they've got less weight to lose and they just want a little bit of extra help. I don't do that anymore because I'm not 100% convinced that the gastric balloon is the right way to lose weight in that situation. Why do I say that? Well, let me tell you a little bit more about how the gastric balloon works. So the gastric balloon is a balloon that's filled with air or water and sits inside the stomach and helps you feel more full. Now, in theory, therefore, you eat less and you lose weight as a result. But the problem is that a lot of us don't eat just because we're feeling hungry. We carry on eating even when we feel full. We may be eating instead because we're bored, stressed, or depressed, and so the gastric balloon isn't really going to help in that situation. The second problem is that the stomach and the body in general is very good at adjusting. So after a few weeks, when the weight seems to be coming off, the body adjusts so that you don't actually feel that fullness so much anymore. You start feeling more hungry and the weight loss will plateau. The weight may even start creeping on again. And then, of course, after a few months, the balloon has to be removed, and some people then feel quite hungry again because the balloon's gone, and they may end up eating more and regaining the weight at that point. Some people do well purely because they feel quite sick with the gastric balloon in place, and that's not really a good way to lose weight simply because you feel sick. Again, when the balloon comes out and that feeling settles, then people are able to eat more again and the weight can go back on. So the people who do best with the gastric balloon are those people who actually use the time that the balloon's in place to make some real significant changes to their lifestyle, to the way they eat, to the way they move, to the way they live their life in general. And to be honest, you don't really need a gastric balloon to be able to do that. You're better off just focusing purely on making those changes, because if you can make those changes all on your own, then you're going to be able to keep them up for good. So I'm not convinced that the gastric balloon is the right way to go about weight loss, but if you are contemplating having a gastric balloon, you need to be really clear that whilst you have the balloon in place, you need to make some significant changes to the way that you eat, move and live in general if you want the success of the gastric balloon to be maintained once the balloon has been removed. If you'd like any more information on the balloon, if you're contemplating it, or if you want some information on other ways of losing weight without those sorts of interventions, then please feel free to get in touch. I'm available for a free chat at any time.